Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to my students. Welcome to my channel Mathsnatic. And those who have not subscribed it as yet, please subscribe and push the bell button also. So today I am going to pick the topic, and that is powers and roots. So we are going to study powers and roots today. Powers and roots. First of all, I'll tell you what are the square numbers. For example, we have a number and that is 6. If I multiply 6 with 6 again, that means I am going to multiply 6 with 6. Then the number will appear as 36. Now, my dear students, this is a square number. Similarly, if I take this number, 7 multiplied 7 is equal to 49. Now this is again a square number. So what we call it square number. And how to write this square number is like this. 7 multiplied by 7. That means number multiplied by itself is equal to whatsoever it is. Or you can write it like this. Now what is this 2 doing over here? See that this is the power of this 7, and 7 is will be called base. When the power is 2, we call it square. What we call it square. When power is 2, we call it square. And square means number multiplied by itself gives any number which is square. Now this number is square. This is not the square number. This is not the square number, but combining the two will get a square number. We have multiplied the two, getting the square number. So this is the base and this is the power. So the number we obtain is 49. And if I reverse the process, I go backwards. If I have a number 36 and I want to just find whose square is this, then what I have to do will be I have to break 36 into the prime factors. I told you about the prime factors. We start from the lowest prime factor. Though it is also divisible by 3, but I do not do it by with 3 but with 2. So it is 18, it is 2, it is 3, it is 3. So my dear students, now what we do, like in LCM, like in HCF, we just write the factors of 36. What we do, we write the factors of 36, and that are 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 3 multiplied 3. If I am not wrong, you can check it. 2 times 4, or 3 times 12, and 12 3 times 36. Now it is completed. Now since we are finding the root of 36, the square root of 36. Now we are finding the square root of 36. Since we are so far studying squares, now I am finding the square root of 36. Now what I do, I told you that when 2 is written, that means square. So what I have to do is I will form some pairs over here. Now these are the pairs. You see that these are the same number. Again, these are the same number. So I pick one from each pair. I pick one from each pair, and what is going to happen, that it becomes 6. Now I can say that 6 is square root of 36. 6 is square root of 36. There is another method of doing. You remember that I told you about this sign, and this sign represent the square root sign. Unless and until something is written over here, what does it mean? It is a square root symbol. Square root. And if I have to find the square root of 36, what I do? Simple division, but with one condition only, that the divisor and the quotient. The divisor and the quotient. You know the parts of the division. If I say, let me first tell you what are the parts of division. Now this is the dividend. I write here dividend, the thing which is being multiplied, the thing which is being divided, the number which is being divided is called dividend, and by which it is being divided is called divisor. The number by which it is being divided is divisor. Here you get the quotient, and after whatsoever you get the remainder. Now these are the parts of division. There are 4 parts: divisor, dividend, remainder, and quotient. So what I told you about this condition, that we have to find such a number. Now the condition is what? Condition that divisor and quotient should be the same number. Divisor and quotient should be the same number. Now we have to find the same number which is closest to this, which is closest to 36. For example, let me take 2. Let me take 2. If I take 2, then I have to take here out 2 as well. So what comes here? 2 multiplied 2 becomes 4 over here. So it is far more less than 36. So this is not allowed over here. Take a next number, 5. This is for example. 5. If divisor is 5, then quotient must also be 5. So it is making some sense, but still it is much smaller. And the remainder is coming as 11, which is greater than the divisor. So this is again not allowed. So what we do, we go to another number, and that is 6. Okay. Now 6 multiplied 6 is 36 without any remainder. So you see that our condition that the divisor and quotient should be remain without any remainder has become true. Now this is the divisor, this is the quotient, and remainder is 0. So 36, 6 is the square root. Now 6 is the square root of 36. 6 is the square root. 6 is the square root of 36. I hope I made myself clear. Now let us proceed to the cube root. I told you when there is nothing written in this corner. Let me clean this. Now next comes cube root. Now how we represent cube root? I haven't told you before. Now the sign is same. You see the sign is same, but we write here a small 3. What we write here is small 3. When this small 3 is written over here, then it means that this is a cube root, and the number inside this has to be solved for the cube root. Now, for example, I start from a single digit number which is 8. I'll tell you that how the cubes are formed. Now you see, I have written this digit 8. This is a very simple example, and I have taken one digit number. Now you see that if I write 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 2, 2 times 2, 2 and again times 2 gives us 8. The way of writing is this. Okay. Now this is the power. These are the bases, and we write it for one time only. It represents that it is written in 3 times. Now the base is 2, power is 3, and the result is 8. And if we want to go backwards, again there are two methods. One is the method of prime vectors. 8, 2, 4s are 8, and 2 2s are 4. Now what is the outcome? Now this is the outcome once again over here, because F8 is equal to this. Now dear students, you see that for F8 what we got here is 2 times 2 times 2. And you know that in my preceding example of square, I took a pair of 2. Since a pair is always of 2, and but to let you understand this, I say that this is also a pair of 3. This is also a pair of 3. So what I do, I just take only one out of 3. What I did in the first example, I took, it was it 6? Yes, it was 6, I think. It was 2 multiplied by 3. It was like this: 2 multiplied 2 multiplied 3 multiplied 3. There were two pairs, and I took like this. This was pair and this was pair, and I took what? One out of this and one out of this. Now this is not a division, okay? Now what? Now I have to take three numbers as a pair, and then I take one out of them. Okay. Now this represent that, this two represent that it is the cube root of 8. Now 2 is the cube root of 8. So my students, I think I have made myself clear over here that how to find the cube root and this cube of any number. Let me take a bigger example now. For example, I take 9 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 9. Now what does it mean? Let me write it in this way. That is equal to 729. 729. Now we have to go backwards. So how we do it? We just bring it to the prime factors. Now see if it is divisible by 2. No, it is not divisible by 2 because in then 9 is coming. So it is divisible by 3 because 9 plus 9 is 18 and it is divisible by 3. 2 times 2 times 6, 1 come out of here, 12, 3 4 times and 3 3 times. It is still divisible by 3 now. 3 8 times and 3 1 times. It is still divisible by 3. 3 2 times and 3 7 times. Still divisible by 3. 9 times. Still divisible by 3. 3 times. Now you see that how many 3's I have got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what I do is here I write F729 is equal to 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So what I told you that take three numbers one at a time once. Now these are the three numbers and this is the three numbers. That means you are going to make the pair of all the numbers which are identical and you have to pick only one out of them. Now these are three numbers and you have to pick one out of them, and this is again three identical numbers and we have to pick only one out of them. What comes? 9 3 multiplied 3 is 9 and we got here 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So 9 is the cube root of 729. It is very much easy and I think it does not requires any more explanation. But I tell you that today students don't have much time to do all this work in the rough work and in the they simply use calculators out of it. It is very simple. Everyone knows to use calculator. If you don't know to use calculator, you can ask me in the comment section below. I'll tell you how the calculator is used. But I must tell you that in this calculator you can find, now this is a simple calculator, you can find square root and you can find square root only, but you cannot find cube root in this calculator. But in this calculator you can find every root, whether it is 3 4 5 6 whatsoever it is. You can find uh, every root in this calculator. This is a scientific calculator and there are many modern calculators nowadays available. So you are also given the access to the calculators. Students, let us proceed to the exercise. And the exercise, upcoming exercise is 1.11. 1.11 or 1.11. Simply you can say that. Now there are 11 questions and with many parts. I'm going to solve some of the parts from each question, and maybe we'll finish it in two parts. The first question is question number 1, and part, let me take part 2 because part A I already discussed here. Let me take part C instead. Let me take part C because some of the parts I have already told you in the introduction of powers and roots. So question number 1 part C starts from question number 1 part C, and what does it say? That calculate 11 square. What we call it? 11 square. Now how we do it? It is very simple, very piece of cake. Just go to rough work, write 11 like this 2 times and multiply like this. What is the answer? 1 times 1, 1, 1 times 1, 1, 1 times 1, 1, 1 times 1, 1, 121. So, what is the outcome? 121. There are other methods of multiplication also available, but the simplest is this. That's part number J, and that is 68 square. Again, what we do here, write 68 up and down, 68. Now you will understand. These all were the same numbers, but now you will understand how I am going to multiply. Just multiply. 8 times is 64. 8 6 times is 48. Add 6, 48, and 6, 54. And now put a cross over here. 6 8 times again 48. 6 6 times 36. 6 6 times 36 plus 4. 36 plus 4 40. And you just add 2, 6 and 4. Now this becomes 4624. 4624. These were very simple. Let me do question number 2. Some parts from question number 2 as well. Now the first be, yes, part A, the most difficult question in the world. I have to find the cube of 1. What I find is cube of 1. That means 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, the answer will remain as 1. And I must tell you that if 1 raised to power n, it remains as 1. Whatsoever the power be, it will become 1. Now question some difficult question now. H. I have to find 18 cube. So what does it mean? That I have to multiply 18 three times. Now this is the way to write it, and this is the way to do it. This is the way to write it, and this is the way to do it. 8 times 64 again. 6 can't carry. 8 1 8 and 6 144. Put a cross over here, and then 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. So what comes? 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 4 plus 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 got carried, and 1 2 3. Now I have done it only twice. Now for one more time. 8 4 times 32. 3 comes over here. 8 2 times 16, 17, 18 and 19. 1 comes out of here. And 8 3 times 24 and 25. And the rest is 4 2 3, and again add it. Put a cross over here. So what is 2 3 8 and 5? The answer is 5832. You can do rest of the questions by yourself. So dear students, time to sign off now. So till next video and next lecture, Allah Hafiz and have a nice day.